Hello, combatants. Thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome back to another great episode. If you've been with us for a while, we welcome you back. If you're new here, please hit follow or subscribe wherever you watch or listen to the podcast, as it greatly helps us out. Mortal Kombat fans, unite, as we are pleased to announce that we will be joined by Choi today, the voice of Liu Kang in some of the biggest games such as MK vs. DCU, MK9, and MKX. In terms of television, you may recognize his voice from the character called Frontman in Netflix's ridiculously successful show Squid Game. He is also widely recognized for playing Mr. Yukimura on MTV's Teen Wolf from Season 3 to Season 5. If you're a fan of Tom's, Kamidogu would also like to remind you that he is available on the Cameo platform. Tom continues to be very active on here and is very passionate when it comes to connecting with his fellow fans. It's also noteworthy that he even has the frontman mask that he often sports from Squid Game. We encourage you to reach out, send a personal request, and you can receive a specified video directed to you or any friends exclusively. With all that being said, let's get to the core of this episode, discuss Mortal Kombat, and learn more about Tom. And away we go to today's interview. All right, and here we are. It's a pleasure to have you join us today, Tom.
Well, thanks for having me.
I would like to begin this episode by perhaps asking you, how did you initially receive the role of Liu Kang, which begun in Mortal Kombat vs. DCU?
Well, like everybody else, I just auditioned for it. I didn't realize it was going to be such a big cult hit. When I auditioned for it, I didn't know that I was going to get the pivotal role of Liu Kang. I just went in and did my best, and I was fortunate enough to land it. And that was probably, oh man, how many years ago when it was like, it was at 8-bit? Was Mortal Kombat like 8-bit back then? I don't know. You're like all like pixelated and yeah. So
it's going back a little bit,
Yeah.
So how similar would you say you are to Liu Kang's character, and what are some of your favorite qualities of his?
Well, I don't have his muscles. Maybe I've got his hair now. I've been kind of proud of my hair lately because it's becoming a little more Liu Kang-ish. So, in terms of that, it's very similar. Throughout the history of Mortal Kombat, there's been a lot of people who played the character. Robin Shou in the original movie. I don't know who the original how they did the graphics.
Oh, Ho Sung Pak.
Oh, is that what his name was?
Yeah, from the first one.
When the original video game?
Yep.
Yeah, like he's iconic, obviously. And then all these other iterations, the fan, remake of, I think it was Brian T did that one. And then there was another one where Rudy Lin played the most recent one. Pretty proud to be in that good company. So as far as my similarity goes, my voice, I try to project a strong demeanor, a strong Asian man demeanor. So I guess that's pretty similar. So, yeah.
Brilliant. I understand you played some of Mortal Kombat in the arcades back in the day, and even saw the 1995 film in theaters. How much of a fan were you beforehand, and which characters are your favorite?
I was a huge fan. I remember distinctly. It was an empty theater. That's not to say it was not popular. It was just that we went to a matinee, my friend Brandon and I, and we were the only ones in the theater. And then when they played the Mortal Kombat, and then they played the techno music, we were just standing up and dancing because we were the only ones in there. And I distinctly remember that. I had the pleasure of working with the original Johnny Cage, Lyndon Ashby in Teen Wolf when I was on there. So that's a little thing that we had in common. And that was a big pleasure. But obviously Scorpion was probably my favorite just because he had the cool, get over here thing. So
Spear, yeah.
Yeah. Well, and of
If
course Liu Kang, because he was like the only Asian guy lead character at the time. It was crazy, groundbreaking.
yeah, yeah, he was really great, man. In the first one, he just blew up
Hmm.
from there.
Hmm.
If you really had to think about it, what would you say was your biggest challenge while tackling this character?
Aside from trying to do that leg kick in the air voice, uh, it was a funny story. They wanted me to say a bunch of words that they would manipulate later on, and they said that was the bicycle kick noise that he made. You know what I mean? Like in the video game, like that.
Yep,
Like we think
yep.
it's gibberish, but apparently it was a lot of words that were actually said that were sped up or something. So I tried
Wow.
doing that, and it failed miserably. So you don't hear that in the video games, thankfully.
Thankfully. Um,
Yeah.
Out of the three games you did and all the scenes that you were involved in, what
Hmm.
would you say is your favorite scene and the one that you were most pleased with?
You know, as an actor, um, especially with action things, it's not really the action scenes that we get to do our thing, right? Especially
Mhm.
with voiceovers and stuff. So, like honestly, like my scenes with Katana were actually the best in the video game cutscenes because they were
Yeah.
really heartfelt, down to earth, and I could really put a lot of emotion into it. And that's something that you don't really see when you're playing the video game, right? It's just a lot of wah, ah,
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, so that was great.
What are some of your favorite memories working with Midway Games before 2008 and
Yep.
then the later established NetherRealm Studios?
As a voice actor, we go in the booth, we do as we're told. Obviously, it was great working with the directors on it. The best part was being asked to come in again and again. I mean, if there's any big compliment as an actor, it's to repeat something that we've done, and so that was actually the biggest part. There's no smokes and it's all smoke and mirrors, right? It's not like some really big grandiose. I didn't do motion capture or anything like that. If that was the case, maybe that would have been something that was like, wow, that was an amazing memorable thing. But I was in a voice booth,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so yeah.
Do you have a particular favorite move or fatality of Liu Kang's? What stands out most to you in your eyes?
um well, obviously the bicycle kick is iconic. um oh man, honestly, nothing really stands out. Maybe it's my memory that's kind of fleeting right now, but yeah, I would definitely say the bicycle kick. That's his iconic move, right?
Yeah, definitely,
So, and
definitely.
this is the one character that doesn't rely on weapons and lasers and flames and things like that. So,
Very true.
it's his speed that's great when you play him.
I love how easily, accessible he is too. His moves are so
Hmm.
incredibly easy to pull off. That's
Yeah.
always a joy too. On a grand scale of things, just how much has the role of Liu Kang affected your professional career? Do you still often get people notice you for your work on the character?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a joy when I look at like YouTube and they have like, or your podcast, and when people recognize me more for Blue Kang than like anything I've done in terms. I mean, I've been on 3 seasons of Teen Wolf, and it's still like, oh my god, you played Liu Kang? That's amazing, right? And uh, so, what was the question? I'm sorry. One more
Oh, no
time. What
worries.
was it?
How much has it, affected your career, and do you still get people notice you?
Yes, that's definitely the joy of having played this character. And like I was mentioning, when I go to YouTube or anything and I look up Liu Kang, they have like who played the best Liu Kang voice, and I gotta say I'm pretty honored to say that it's consistently me. So
Oh
I take
yeah.
very big pride of that. So I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, and it's definitely helped my voiceover career for sure.
Yeah, certainly. It's no secret that a number of the actors from previous NRS games didn't end up returning for the latest title, MK11, and were ultimately
Hmm.
replaced. Is there any reason specifically as to why you didn't reprise the role, Tom?
Because we asked for $1 million each. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I don't know. I know that Liu Kang looks younger in 11 and beyond. So, and Matt Yang King, he's a friend of mine. He plays him now, and he's a great guy. So whatever choice it is, I'm not going to look deep into the politics of it or anything. I know Ed Boon is doing it on his own now, and it was a kind of a co-directing thing beforehand. So maybe he had a certain vision beforehand, or now that it's like a bit younger, quote unquote. I mean, the irony is that Matt Yanking is probably older than me, but
Yeah.
he looks younger. His voice is a little bit higher in vocal quality, and so whatever it is, it all stands up. Who knows? Maybe I'll come back. All you viewers out there, just start tweeting right now to Ed
Let's
Boon.
do it.
Let's do it. The legend comes back.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So, yes, you've mentioned, other takes from different actors,
Yeah.
in regards to Liu Kang. When it comes to the television series, short series, movies, etc.,
Mhm.
did you happen to really enjoy any particular portrayal?
I like the campiness of the original Mortal Kombat and Robin Show with his huge hair. And honestly, I thought they told that story well. And the forest scene with, Scorpion, I mean, they did that spot on. So I think that
Oh,
really set the trend for a lot of these video game movies, right?
definitely.
I saw the latest one too, and I thought that was great. A lot of special effects, obviously. It's a little bit convoluted in the storyline. They kind of deviated some from the universe of Mortal Kombat a bit.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. But it's still very enjoyable. I think the favorite character is it Cyborg or
Oh, yeah,
who was it?
Kano.
No, Kano. Yeah. Kano was the funniest guy in that. I mean, he was hilarious.
He stole almost every scene. It
He
was
did. He
insane.
did. It was great.
Yeah.
But very enjoyable. Yeah, absolutely. I kind of
Yeah, it
wanted to
was
see the fan. The fan. You see the short film, the fan ones, with like
Legacy?
Barry Ryan, and you had Brian
Yes.
T, and you had all those like that.
Yeah.
That looked pretty slick. So,
It did
but
for such a low budget. They did an
yeah,
incredible job.
yeah. And I know that there's a TV series coming out, right? But I don't know, or maybe it was just the animated series. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been rumors that since the first movie 2021 was so incredibly successful, they're thinking of branching out now. For
But
example,
I would
there's
imagine they would.
rumors of a Sonya Blade television show. Ludi
Okay.
Lin actually
Yeah.
is pushing for
Okay.
a Shaolin Monks spin-off. I think that would be
Yeah.
incredible. So
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. 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 Well, he's
So
great. I
tell
mean,
us,
go ahead.
yeah.
Go ahead.
So tell us just how it was working with Lyndon Ashby and Teen Wolf, who portrayed Johnny Cage in the '95
Mhm.
film. Did he ever talk to you about his time working on that project, or have you two spoken of MK in general at all?
We spoke in general. He didn't really have any like juicy stories or anything.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would definitely tell you right now what they were. um, I mean, we would tweet back and forth pictures of him, as Johnny Cage and stuff. So it's been so
Uh,
long ago for him. I'm sure
yeah.
like he appreciates that he's played him because it's such an iconic character, and I'm sure that created a lot of inroads for him as well. But we talked about surfing. We talked about just more life stuff on set. To be honest with you,
Yeah, as
yeah,
expected. As
yeah,
expected.
yeah.
Could you tell us about any stories working on The Shield and 24? What was it like working with Kiefer Sutherland and Michael
Yeah.
Chiklis?
Yeah, what's funny about the Shield is that was one of my first roles on TV. I had like three
Right,
lines as a
right.
sheriff, and I remember I was so nervous. I'd ask the director after every take, "Was that okay? Was that okay? Was that okay?" And that was that. And as far as working on 24, that was an incredibly big acting moment because it was like top of show guest star where it was like a ton of scenes and everything. And I was nervous about that because it was 24 is obviously like in real time, quote unquote. So as an actor, it's funny because you actually have to act it differently because at every moment somebody had just died that
Yeah.
and I know that the viewers might not understand what I'm trying to say, but just think about if you open your eyes and someone had just died. Like 24 hours a day, you have to just remember that somebody had just died. and that's
Yeah.
how we as actors have to portray that on 24. That was my unique thing on 24. So, and it was great because I worked with Kiefer again on Designated Survivor, where I played like a dictator of a foreign country, which
Oh.
supposedly was like Kim Jong Un, but you can't say that because you'll probably
Yeah.
be assassinated or something. No, I'm serious. Like Randall Park, he played him on that one movie, and he got death threats and all that kind of stuff. It's crazy.
Oh,
So they changed my name on that show.
yeah. Yeah, I
I
know.
don't
It's
remember that name.
pretty intense.
Mhm.
What was that movie James Franco and
James
Seth Rogen
Franco
worked
and
on?
Seth Rogen. Yeah,
Ooh, yeah, that
yeah,
was
yeah.
a big deal.
Oh yeah, that's what caused the Sony hack. Remember the email hack?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very dangerous when you play the North Korean dictator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
To anybody looking into getting involved with the voice acting business, let's say,
Mhm.
what would be your advice for them?
Be patient. Be very, very patient. It's a very, very, very competitive field. There's a ton of people, and the reason why, I mean, you see doctors and lawyers and everybody wanting to be voiceover artists because they think that it's something to do on the side. It's something that you don't have to spend a whole lot of time on, or move to LA for, or this and that. And these days it is true that you can do it from almost anywhere, but most of these sessions are done in studio in LA or New York or Chicago, and uh, it's not an amateur's game. I mean, you can do small little things in here and there. And the other piece of advice is once you get some decent roles, hold your ground. And if you can, become a union member, and you are one, hold your ground. Don't do non-union. Get what you're worth. Because honestly, it's a job, and if you want to make it as your job, don't take $50 projects. You know
Yeah.
why? For practice? No, they have money. Make them pay. That's my advice.
Excellent.
Hmm.
From what I can see, you've produced and written in your line of work. One short film in particular is titled Lone Hunter, which has gone on to win a jury prize amongst many other nominations. Could you tell our listeners a bit more about this project and what the story is about?
Yeah, that was kind of a passion project, and it's actually very relevant these days because it really is based on a real life story of an Asian hunter in Wisconsin who accidentally or purposely went onto private property. And the owners of that private property were also hunters. They came out with their guns. They had a standoff, and the details are with those with the Asian hunter and with the other guys who were killed. But it's a very, very controversial story where this Asian hunter, killed a lot of those, other hunters. And he's in jail now. So, but there was a
Wow.
lot of, most important thing is that there was a lot of racial taunting and rhetoric and threats during that incident. And so, there's multiple sides. One side says that, he shot first. The other side says, or, the Asian hunter says that he felt threatened because they had guns and they were basically looked like they were going to kill him. So he was self-defending. So anyway, um, yeah, you can watch it on YouTube. Lone Hunter, look up Tom Choi and Lone Hunter. And there's a short film, and it's very controversial. It's not like you want to sit down and if you want a good comedy. But I think it's a story that's very relevant and important these
Yeah,
days because that's the kind of stuff that's going on right now, especially with Asian
definitely.
hate and the attack on that on the store in
Oh,
Buffalo.
I
So
know.
it's very relevant.
Hmm. So,
So
Tom, we're now going to jump into the last segment of our show, and it is
uh
called.
Final round.
So, what we're going to do for this final round is we're going to ask you some sort of rapid fire questions, trying to get
okay,
to know you a little more. So, the
sure.
first one being, what are some
Wait,
of
wait, wait,
your
wait.
secret
Do I do I
talents?
do I have do I get any time to think about it, or do I have to just do it off the top of my head?
Don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself out. It'll be
Okay.
okay. No, you can take your time, man.
All right. All right. I
So
didn't
you
know
can
if it
take
was
your
one of
time.
those
What are
firm
your
like
some?
like. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. What are some of your secret talents?
I'm a pretty good surfer. I can let's see, balance the surfboard on my head without any hands or anything. That's very
Ah,
unique.
that is a secret
A
talent.
lot of the kids and people on the beach love to see that. I am fanatic about golf, even though I suck at it. What else? Your
Ah,
talents. Your talents. I can juggle trays, waiter trays on my hand because of all the years of waiting
oh,
tables, and throwing them into the air and everything. So those are secret talents, right?
wow.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
Hmm.
What would you say is your strangest fan encounter?
Strangest fan encounter, huh? That's an interesting one. Um, for me, it's always weird when they recognize me. And so like when they have autograph like printouts of my headshots and everything at premieres or events or something
Yeah.
where they know I'm going to be at and they want my autograph, that's always the weirdest thing. It's the most flattering thing, you know. I know they're doing it so that maybe they can make money in the future, whatever, but God bless them that they think I'm somebody they can make money off of, because I'll gladly give my signature. You know, if you got the Funko Pop, send it to me. I'll sign it and send it back. I have one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. It's in my house right now. I'd show you. But anyway,
Oh, that'd be wicked. Yeah.
and the other thing is that a lot of people don't understand about actors is that when people see you, they think they know you personally first because that's how your mind works. So they're like, "Hey, I know you. Are you Bob's friend?" And like, I was just on Teen Wolf last night. Oh, that's it. So it's pretty interesting when that started happening when I became recognizable because it's like a weird psychological thing that happens. People do not think of TV and film first; they think they know you, which is hilarious.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite video games? I know you're a bit of a gamer, a little bit.
Favorite, little bit of gamer, yeah. You know, Fallout 76, obviously, because I play the role of
Oh,
Night Shin. So
with all the
that's been
updates and the expansions, and yes, your role, I thought it
they
was
got a little bit
fantastic
better.
game,
Oh, thank you.
severely underrated. I had a
Oh,
blast
yeah,
with it.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. But the other games I play, honestly, like I have an Oculus and I'm playing like Star Wars Pinball. Like I have a kid, like a
Oh,
3 month old, so I'm like totally playing games where you can just be done with them in one sitting. There you go. There's your Fallout guy. That guy's gonna be iconic forever. Um,
oh, definitely.
what's his name again? I don't remember that guy's name. That little guy.
Pip
You
Boy.
held up the Pip Boy. That's right.
Yeah.
Um, what else do I play? I loved playing what do you call it? The Assassin's Creed games because
Oh,
they
yeah.
were so great at like letting you escape into a different world. I love
Yeah.
open world games like that. So that series is really great. So I love those. Yeah.
Fabulous. What
Mhm.
was your very first job?
Oh, I worked at a taco place inside the mall. It's called
Okay.
Uncle Jack's Tacos. Yeah. So
Oh.
you got to
Any
see
specific memories from there?
like how you make tacos. You put a lot of oatmeal in it. It's ground beef and oatmeal because that's the filler
Yeah,
you
yeah.
put in. When you go to Taco Bell, you eat a lot of oatmeal. I think Taco Bell has
Oh,
that. I believe Taco Bell does the same thing. But I was like, wow, I did not know tacos had oatmeal in the beef. So I guess that's the thickening thing. So there you go. There's your useless facts for the day.
and speaking of food, what is your favorite food?
I mean, I gotta be cliche and say Korean barbecue.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah,
yeah,
of
I mean,
course.
yeah, like I don't know where you're located right now, but like, do you have a
Canada.
favorite Korean restaurant? Toronto, right? Was it Toronto or?
I live close to Toronto. I live
Yeah,
close
yeah,
to Toronto. Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah,
you must have some pretty good Korean restaurants up there.
yeah. I'm bad with names, but
Yeah,
there's some really good
that
ones.
means
It's
you're going to the right
fantastic
places
cuisine,
because if you can't remember the names of the restaurant, that means it's too hard to pronounce, and those are the best places, right?
right?
Exactly.
Here's a good one. If
Yes.
you were granted 3 wishes,
Okay.
what would they be?
Wow, that's a big one. Honestly, 3 wishes. I would want to know where the hell we go after we die. That'd be a good one.
mm,
That's a good wish. Number two would be that this world becomes more equal. I know I'm being very
Yes.
unselfish with that, but it's just crazy how we emphasize all that stuff when we have all the abilities to feed everybody, to be friendly with everybody. Everybody can have like everything they'd be happy with, and yet we are so
Yeah.
selfish. Yeah. Um, and then I guess a personal one would be to like I don't know. I kind of feel like I have everything. I got my 3 month old now, and I guess it would just my
Oh
third
wow.
wish would be yeah. Thank you.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. You know, I don't know. It's just to be able to keep doing the things I love on my own terms. Yeah, I like to do things on my own terms.
Sure, that's a good
Like
answer.
yeah, right? Like not have to have time constraints,
Yeah.
be able to surf wherever I wanted to, be able to, just that. There you go. Keep it in reality.
Perfect. What's your what's your biggest pet peeve?
Oh, my biggest pet peeve in general? Like
Yeah,
anything
in general.
specific or well, biggest pet peeve. I think not I'll give you a simple one. When you're driving and the person who's turning does not go completely into the turning lane. And so they slow down in front of you
Oh,
just so they can have it a little bit easier to turn. That's one of my pet peeves. Big
drives
one.
me nuts. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's one of my pet peeves.
What's what's
And
your
I'm sorry.
okay?
Tipping at the counter. Tipping at a fast counter. Like, what are you doing for me that I'm tipping you?
Yeah.
Like, your company should pay that, and you should make my sandwich $2 more. That's how it should be.
What's your guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure. I mean, golf because it's so expensive and stupid. But what's my guilty pleasure? Guilty pleasure. Guilty pleasure. It's a good one. Yeah, I think so. I think golf is the only thing
Any
I'm really. Yeah.
any specific movies or music that you feel kind of guilty about liking?
I mean, aside from porn, I'm just kidding. Sorry, that was the
Waiting
obvious.
for it.
Just that was the obvious answer.
Yeah.
I scratch that. I do not watch that. That's disgusting. Do not. Oh my god, where is this going? Where is this going? Um, any guilty pleasure movies and TV shows?
Yeah.
TV shows. I kind of like whatever. But I've been kind of watching Halo. Halo, this new
Ah.
series. Yeah, it's actually really well
Yep.
done. I think they should have a little bit more fighting between the Covenant and the uh, Master Sergeant. But what else? What else is there? Guilty pleasure TV show wise, movie wise. I don't know. That's about it. Yeah. Resident Evil movies. I
And
love
so
Resident
for
Evil
the
movies. I don't know why.
oh, you do.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're just so
Yeah, I know there
cheesy.
was
But
a
I love
lot of kind
watching
of
the aliens and horror and stuff. Or the creatures.
yeah. Resident Evil. I remember there was a lot of mixed feelings because they introduced the original character for the first set of movies. But yeah, I thought it was fun. It was cheesy, but it was a lot of fun. I'll
Yeah,
agree.
yeah. So that's my guilty pleasure, I guess.
And the last question being, and this is a tough one, so
Okay.
funniest thing that's ever happened to you, or just a funny memory that will never leave you.
Funniest memory. I can only think of like embarrassing, gross ones, like when I puked in math class on the table.
Oh no.
Funniest memories. Funniest memories. Funniest memories. I don't know. That
Any
is a tough one.
pranks on set?
Mm, I was in high school and we had, for some reason
Oh,
we had a fire hydrant uh, 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 wrench, and we decided we would just unscrew fire hydrants and let the water just shoot
oh,
out. It's very stupid, and we should be punished severely for that. It's a waste of water, but
no
that's
big deal.
that's what we did back then. So I guess that's a funny story.
Wow,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Okay, Tom. Well, it's been a real joy to have you on the show today. We're all looking forward to seeing what's up next for you. And again, fingers
Mhm.
crossed for Liu Kang reprisal.
Yeah,
For the people
absolutely.
listening to our feature today, where can fans find you on social media? And is there anything at all that you'd like to give a plug?
Sure. You can find me everywhere at Tom T Choi. That's at Tom T Choi, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, website, my personal webpage, everything like that. YouTube. And yeah, I'd love to plug Cameo if you guys are true fans of Liu Kang or Squid Game. I did the voice of the front man on the English
Frontman.
language version
Yep.
of Squid Game. If you're a fan of Teen Wolf or Liu Kang or anything, you want to do a personal message, cameo.com, Tom Choi, hit me up and we can continue this with a personal message.
Wicked. Well,
Mhm.
yeah, it's been a real pleasure, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you again, Tom.
Yes, thank
You
you
take
so much
care.
for having me. Alrighty. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Okay, combatants. You heard it all from the Chosen One himself. Always a pleasure to hear from our fellow Mortal Kombat actors, especially from somebody who portrayed such an honorable and impactful character as Liu Kang. Thank you kindly for tuning in today. We really appreciate it. There's much more on the horizon yet. Also, keep in mind to open that Cameo application. There's a good opportunity waiting in store for you. Meanwhile, we hope you are doing well, and we're excited to see you in the next one. Don't ever, ever forget, my friends, to have fun, stay safe, and stay flawless.